Rumor has it that there's 2 new Switches coming out this year, so why not rev up the speculation machine and begin to predict some of the features that the new consoles will have. If I had to take a shot in the dark, and based on a couple articles I'd read, I would assume that the 2 Switches that are going to be released will be a budget one and a pro one, sort of like the Xbox One S and Xbox One X, how one's more of a budget console and the other one's meant for gamers who want a little extra. For the purposes of this video, I'm going to be referring to these as the Switch Mini and the Switch Pro. Now let's start with the Switch Mini. Now, some people are saying that it's going to have a huge downgrade from the original, and while I'm assuming that there, yes, will be downgrades, a lot of people are assuming it won't connect to the original Switch dock. I can safely assume that this won't be true because Nintendo sells Switch docks on their own, and they probably wouldn't want to shoot themselves in the foot by not having an extra sale attached to other products. So I'm assuming that the Switch Mini will attach to the dock like normal, it just won't have detachable Joy-Cons. I'm also convinced it's going to have a little less under the hood, not a huge amount, it's probably going to be negligible at best, but maybe a slight performance cut, being as the original Switch was sort of a powerhouse to the point where it bent consoles. I don't mean to say that the original Switch was more powerful than the current gen consoles, but it was able to run a Wii U port pretty much perfectly, so it wouldn't surprise me at all if the Switch Mini has the exact same specs or they took a slight cut, maybe decrease the screen resolution a small bit. Now, like I said before, it'll probably have non-detachable controls, so something along the lines of one of the PSPs, I'm assuming. And I think that that's okay, because I know a lot of people who don't ever dock the Switch, they only play in handheld mode, and of course I know people vice versa that only play docked. With that being said, it will still be able to connect to other controllers, and will most likely still have a kickstand on it. And if in some bizarre universe it doesn't end up docking in the normal Switch dock, it'll probably either A, have its own, or it will B, have the charger port up top, that way you don't have to worry about the charger wire getting in the way of the kickstand. I'm also assuming, like Microsoft, there's going to be a couple bundles coming out for the Switch Mini, so I'm assuming a Super Mario Odyssey and Zelda bundle are kind of inevitable. Maybe we'll see a Splatoon bundle as well. Of course, Mario Kart and Smash Bros. Are also very, very viable contenders. And that's about all the ideas I have that Nintendo would have for the Switch Mini. I'm not sure. Again, this is 100% speculation. This could all turn out to be complete bullshit. I'm not leaking what Nintendo has. It's just what I would A, like to see, or B, more realistically, what is probably going to happen. Now for the Switch Pro, and that's where things get interesting, because we've never really seen like an amazing step-up console, with the exception of the DS and new 3DS. So take this all with a grain of salt, but I'm 100% assuming, and I have very good reason to believe, that this will be the Switch that finally launches the Virtual Console, because it would be totally parallel to what they did with the 3DS and the new 3DS, where the Super Nintendo games and some other exclusives were only available on the newer unit. So it wouldn't surprise me at all if the new Switch, the Switch Pro, had exclusive ports that only the Switch Pro could run, / only the Switch Pro could run well. It wouldn't surprise me if it's playable on the other models, it just ran like shit. That's certainly a possibility, although not something that Nintendo would probably want to do. So I'm assuming that the entire console is going to be redesigned, probably with a microphone this time. That would be cool. And under the hood, it's going to be a lot more powerful. I'm picturing probably a full generation step up in processor to get games that ran at 30 frames to maybe pump them up to 60, like Zelda. Who knows? It's a possibility. Depending on the price point of the Switch Pro, it could also launch with a Switch Pro controller. If that is indeed the name of the console, that would be genius, and it would be really, really dumb if they didn't end up doing that. So that's definitely an option. Although Nintendo does like making money, so more realistically, let's just say that it launches with the standard Joy-Cons and the charging grip as opposed to just the standard one. It would also be really cool, I don't know if this is possible, but if the Switch somehow connected to cellular, so that way you could play online no matter where you are. I'm not expecting Nintendo to drop their paid online service, this is just an even better way to get more money out of it. Again, I'm assuming this probably won't happen, but it'd be really, really cool if it did. And if it somehow does happen, Japan already has a cloud gaming service for the Switch where you can basically stream games. That's how you're able to play games like Resident Evil 7. And with that, I'd like to get into 2 games that I would like to see launch on the Switch Pro and be Switch Pro quote-unquote optimized. Those 2 would be Resident Evil 2's remaster and Spyro the Dragon, the Reignited trilogy. And I don't really have a personal connection to either of these games, but they are such beloved games that the community is dying to play on portable devices, which is something you can't do on the PS4 or Xbox One. So it'd be really cool if the Switch Pro took advantage of these games and launched alongside of them that would be pretty cool. Even if it was exclusive to the new Switch, that would still be pretty cool. Anyways, enough speculation from me. Tell me your guys' ideas and your speculation and your hopes and dreams for the new Switches in the comments down below. I'd love to read them. That's it for me, guys. I hope you enjoyed watching or listening if you just had this on in the background. This has been DanRock. Thank you so much. Peace out and take care.